Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of HeyBucket Live. I'm your host, Sammy Glantz. This week we have on a future UCLA Bruin and current softball star at Gar High School. Thank you so much for joining us, Taylor.
Of course.
We're so excited to have you on. There's so many things I want to dive into with you today, but first of all, congrats on just signing your national letter of intent. That is so incredible. What an incredible accomplishment. What was that like for you?
So much. It was a dream come true. I've always been a UCLA Bruin at heart. I've wanted to go to this school since I was 4 years old. So the fact that I actually got to really see this dream come true is just breathtaking.
I'm so excited for you. And I grew up in LA as well. Every girl's dream is to play at UCLA. And I'm so excited to see you grow and be able to watch you play. But you verbaled as an incoming freshman. So you were what, 13 or 14 years old?
13.
That is mind blowing, but that's how it is, you know? So what was that kind of like for you? You know, looking in the stands as a 13-year-old, you got Coach I and Lisa Fernandez there. Like, what was that like?
It was incredible. I actually started getting recruited my 8th grade year. There were a few schools that were interested in me at this time, so I was very consistently sending emails, inviting colleges to come watch me play, to come to my showcases, the tournaments, all that stuff. I went on an unofficial visit to the University of Florida, the University of Texas, and UCLA. Although every single visit that I had was incredible and an amazing experience, UCLA was always, like, I always knew in my heart that was the school that I wanted to go to. So verbaling as a freshman definitely gave me the drive to work harder, to prove to myself what type of athlete I was, considering the fact that I was so young compared to everyone else. I've always played up. So being the youngest girl on the team, it really gave me something to prove.
Yeah, absolutely. Just being, you know, you're kind of in the spotlight, you know, a little bit, because now it's like, okay, there's that UCLA girl, you know, like from all your showcases, like you got to be on your game. What have you kind of done to keep that grind and keep that motivation?
I've always really been one of my biggest driving forces, and not to mention my family. I have a great support system, and having everybody encourage me, and not only them, but also me and myself, knowing that I have somewhere that I want to go in life and I know what I have to do to get there. That's motivation in itself, to work hard, to be able to achieve what you want to achieve.
Coach I described you as an explosive athlete with great power and speed. That's pretty high praise, you know, coming from Coach I. How do you model your game? Like, do you model your game after anybody, or is this all Taylor?
I have always looked up to Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson has always been one of my biggest inspirations. It's why I wear number 42. Just what he's done and the impact that he's had on not only baseball and softball, but every sport there is. I've always looked up to him ever since I was younger.
Playing at his alma mater, you're going to be a Bruin, and that's pretty incredible. Have you kind of thought about what number you're going to wear when you get to UCLA, or?
It would have been incredible to wear 42, but it's retired at UCLA. So I have requested to wear number 22. So we're hoping that.
There we go. New legacy. All you. That'll be awesome. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but I want to talk about your family. You have incredible athletic genes. Both of your uncles played college ball. How was that like growing up? You have so many influences around you, and everyone's just kind of pushing you and helping to get you better.
It's definitely a blessing. I've always had a lot of people to look up to, and I've always had examples. And whenever I needed advice on something, I had people to go to. And it changes the way that you see the game when you get it from somebody else's perspective. And thankfully, it's from my family that I was able to learn from, learn experiences, learn hardships. I was able to really become more of a student of the game by asking them about experiences that they've had. So it's definitely a blessing to be able to come from a family where baseball literally runs in my blood.
Absolutely. And also going back more to your family roots, your grandpa played in the Negro Leagues. That is so incredible, especially since it was just
really
the
is.
100th anniversary of the Negro Leagues. Have you gotten to hear any cool stories from him, or has he told you anything about that?
I've heard a lot of stories. I've seen pictures. I know that he was a very strong baseball player. He played in the outfield. He was a very dominant hitter. So yes, I've heard stories, and they're incredible. It's incredible to be able to be a part of that.
So currently you're in your senior year at Gar High School. With everything that's going on, I mean, everything's kind of up in the air on if you're going to have a season or anything, but how are you kind of training to prepare for your incoming year at UCLA? Are you guys going to do travel ball this summer, or what's your schedule looking like?
Yes. So for high school, we're really not doing anything because of COVID. But for travel ball, we've been practicing and we've been playing. To stay in shape personally, I have been lifting, I have been running, I've been hitting, doing defense. So I've really been focusing on staying sharp with my mechanics, working out, training every day, so that I can get those reps in and put in that quality of work so that I will be ready to play at UCLA.
You play right now for Firecrackers TJ. TJ is an awesome coach. He was a former NFL star. What's that like? What has he kind of taught you?
He's taught me a lot of things. Being an NFL player, I truly believe that he has something that some other coaches don't have to offer, meaning that hunger, that the inspiration to want to win, to want to be the best in everything that you do. I take it in differently from him because it's said with such drive, just such motivation. And it honestly inspires me to push harder, to get to the same level as he is.
Oh yeah, my travel ball coach, he played in the NFL, like that's going to bring you guys a different edge as a team and for you individually. Who do you go to, for hitting? Do you have a hitting coach? Do you have a fielding coach? I know there's so many things out there, but what do you personally have?
My Uncle Pep has trained me my whole life. I've gone to him for hitting since I started playing softball. He also trains me in defense. He is a big reason why I am the player who I am today because of him. So I give all my thanks to him. It's a blessing to be able to have been able to train with him my whole life and for me to know all that I know today.
Does he work with anyone else, or is he just your coach?
When I started playing for Coach TJ, that first year after I started hitting and everybody was like, oh, who's that? So once I started playing for Coach TJ and everybody was seeing what I brought to the table, my abilities in the game, they would always ask, oh, who's your hitting coach? Who do you go to? And so then when I would tell them my Uncle Pep, all of my teammates just started going to him. So he currently, last year with my team, when I would play with Coach TJ, I want to say the majority of my teammates were hitting with Coach Pep. And now on my team with Coach TJ, since it's a whole new set of girls, because last year all the girls went to college, a lot of my team now is going to hit with Coach Pep too.
There are so many ties between Gar High School and UCLA that absolutely blows my mind. So Coach I played at Gar. She went there, and now her husband is a baseball coach and a health teacher at Gar High School. How is that for you? You're walking around campus and you see you have your future college coach and her husband is at your high school every day.
It was quite amazing, I want to say, because in high school, I feel like so many people, GAR is not a very big school, so everybody really knows everybody. So walking around, it's like everybody knows, oh, that's the UCLA softball commit. And it's an honor to be able to have that title, to be able to have that name for myself. And it's an honor. It really is. It's a blessing. I'm thankful to be able to say that I'm that I was able to have that high school experience.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys have any workouts with the baseball team, or did they kind of stay to their own?
The softball team and the baseball team are actually pretty close at GAR, so we didn't necessarily have joined workouts, but we did train with the same coaches. So when we would lift in the weight room, we did have the same trainer. We did have the same advisor. And we all were really close. We would all hang out during snack and lunch. Both of our coaches are close. So it felt like a family at GAR.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I believe Coach I's son also went there too.
Mm-hmm. He was a senior when I was a freshman.
Nice. And then now he's on the baseball team too at UCLA. So you'll have a buddy.
Yes.
That's so cool. And also speaking of that, Malia, who's currently at UCLA, she also went to your school. Has she given you any advice or anything about what to expect?
Yes, I was always around GAR as a little girl. So when I was in middle school, she was in high school. I would always try to be around the softball team. So I would always ask her, like, what colleges are you trying to go to? What are you looking for? And she always was UCLA headstrong. She always told me that she wanted to go there, that she was so thankful to be going there, and that she absolutely loves it. And so when I committed and we saw each other at the fields one day, she was like, "Congratulations, I'm so proud of you. You're going to love it." So it was just really reassurance for me.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing for one of the most prestigious colleges and college softball programs, like we were talking about before. This is every girl's dream, is to play at UCLA. What are you most excited about, with the whole experience?
I'm most excited for the relationships that I'm going to build, honestly. The thing that drove me into choosing UCLA, or one of the main things, is the values that they treasure. It's always family first, always. So they see the team as a family. They see the coaches, the whole staff. It's a family-based team, and I aspire that. I really do. Family first, schools and your academics second, and then it's the sport. And I think that is the order that it should be. And I love that. That's something that drove me to picking this school.
You have 4 other girls that will be incoming freshmen in your class. Have you gotten the chance to meet them or talk to them at all yet?
We've had Zooms. I want to say we've had about 2 or 3 of them with our coaches. They seem amazing. I'm so excited to meet them. I have met one of the girls because she's local, so we've played against each other, but the other 3 I've never played against, so I've never talked to them really. But I am excited to build relationships with those 3 girls.
Yeah, that's going to be so awesome. And then going forward, this will also be your last travel ball summer, which definitely enjoy it. I feel like every day, with friendlies and tournaments and all that stuff, like you kind of take it for granted and being with your girls. And then once you go off to college, it's like, oh, I guess that's really the last time we're ever going to be on the field together. It's kind of sad. So you guys will still have all your nationals and everything. Which tournament are you most looking forward to this summer?
I've always loved playing in PGF nationals. That's my favorite tournament of the year. It always is PGF, then Colorado. But PGF nationals, that's just something that every girl wants to compete in. Every girl wants to go high in that tournament. You want to win. You want to be the champion. So that's my favorite tournament of the year.
Do you have any advice for any girls that are trying to stand out or, make a name for themselves? How do you kind of make yourself stand out in all these tournaments?
Well, my number one tip for any young girl who's an athlete or playing softball is to never stop believing in yourself. You need to believe in your talents, and you need to put in the work necessary to be the very best you that you can be. when you've reached the point in the game where you are your biggest motivator, you're your biggest advocate, you are going to be that driving force to be the best. And it's just motivation in itself to be able to dream that big and push beyond the limit, or to push beyond what you think that you can do. We never know how capable we truly are until we set our minds to something and we achieve it.
What's your life motto? What's the slogan?
My slogan, if I had to come up with a slogan, it would definitely be to know your self-worth. Know what you're capable of. Know that you can do anything that you set your mind to do. Nobody can tell you different. That's definitely something that I've lived by my whole life. I've always wanted to strive to be the best that I could be, and to do the best that I can do in everything that that I am trying to accomplish. And knowing your self-worth, it goes a long way. Believing in yourself, knowing that you can accomplish anything, it really does go a long way.
What are you most looking forward to bringing to the UCLA program when you step on campus?
I'm looking forward to just being that uplifting teammate. I've always loved encouraging others. I've always loved competing. So having a little friendly competition is always fun to me, and I think it brings teammates closer. In any sport, competition is always something that athletes love. Athletes strive to compete. So that's something that I will be looking forward to do. And my coaches are so competitive. Lisa Fernandez, Coach Kelly, they all are very competitive. So I think that I'll fit in perfectly.
Yeah, you're going to be playing for one of the best coaching staffs to ever do it. So that's going to be just an incredible lesson in itself. All right. I definitely want to get into a little speed round if you're up for it.
Yes. What's a speed round?
Oh, this is the surprise. This is how we end the show here, Taylor. This is HeyBucket Live. All right, here we go. We'll make it quick. All right. What stadium are you most looking forward to playing in the PAC?
PAC. I would want to say for sure Washington.
Yeah, that one looks sick. Right on the water.
Mm-hmm.
That one's going to be awesome. I mean, all of them are they're so amazing. I remember
Washington or Oregon.
ASU was actually really cool. Yeah, Oregon. That one's brand new too. I mean, Easton Stadium's pretty cool, but that'll be awesome. All right. Who was your favorite athlete growing up? You kind of touched on it with Jackie, so maybe I'll keep it to who was your softball idol growing up?
Lisa Fernandez. I used to be a pitcher. I was a pitcher when I was younger, so I always have looked up to her, being an all-around athlete. She pitched, she hit, she played third base, she played defense, so she could do it all. She was always my idol that I looked up to for softball.
Yeah, I think she was everyone's idol. I mean, she's beast, so that's pretty cool. It's going to be your coach. All right, do you have any pregame rituals or superstitions or anything?
I really don't. I've always asked myself why I don't have any, but I don't think I don't do anything that I would always do before every single game. If anything, when I go into the box to hit, I always put in the same foot first every time. And if I don't, I get out of the box and I redo it. It's always right foot first, then left foot. I get my bat and I touch the corners of the plate, and then I'm ready to go. That's what I do every single time I'm up to bat.
There we go, dialed in. All right, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up, but you were Little Miss Downey? Oh my goodness.
Yes.
How old were you? What does that even mean? What was that experience?
It was an amazing experience, full of relationships and meeting new people and learning things. My cousin actually did it, so she was the reason why I was interested in doing it. It's really something where it's very social. You learn a lot of people skills. You learn how to talk to big crowds, how to fundraise. So it's just a lot of things that you learn in that I'm thankful to have been able to be a part of and to learn, because it helped shape me into the person that I am today.
Well, it's obvious that you have learned so much, not only from being Little Miss Downey, but throughout your high school years and your travel ball years. The way that you hold yourself and your mannerisms and the light that comes from you, it's obvious just from talking to you from today. So I am so excited to continue to watch you grow and follow your career at UCLA. So good luck, and thank you so much for joining us today, Taylor.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm your host, Sammy Glantz. For more content like this, be sure to check out fastpitchfilms.com. See you guys next time.